name is Patrick Slevin, Executive Director of Austin Soundwaves. It's my sincere honor to welcome you all to the third annual Draylen Mason Capstone performance. It's the second ever in-person performance and the first performance in masks. So what an honor. And most importantly, this is the debut performance in what I like to think of as Draylen's home, the Draylen Mason Music Studio. We're so grateful to our friends at KMFA who have persevered and brought this studio to life, and they've been such steadfast partners. We're grateful to Lynn Dobson and Greg Wooldridge, who've also made this beautiful space possible, and grateful for all of you for being here. I can't help but think Draylen gave us that storm just now. He wants the music to start. He's ready. Our mission tonight, our goal tonight, is to present a beautiful performance, to do something, give you all something that would make Draylen proud, that would be in his spirit of music, collaboration, and community. I don't kid myself that he wouldn't have a few pointers for us after tonight's performance, but I hope nonetheless you'll see the hard work of the fellows of this program, everyone who's persevered through this pandemic, and we hope to offer you something that is truly special, beautiful, and truly Draylen. So I'd like to introduce Dr. Hermes Camacho, our program director. He's going to tell you a bit about this special program and what the fellows and their mentors and their teachers have been doing all year to get to tonight.
Thank you so much. It is my absolute honor and privilege to have gotten the chance to work with these fellows and these mentors throughout this year, most of which has been on Zoom, and they've still persevered and gotten through all the different challenges that brings. We've been fortunate to spend the last several weeks being able to meet in person and everybody getting to meet each other for the first time. I'm sure we've all experienced that you're a lot taller in real life, or all those things that come with that. They've been an incredible group. Every year, it's amazing. I wish I could share in such few words what it means working with them and the energy and the brilliance that they bring to this program in Draylen's name. The clips that you heard, they'll probably all remember. They're all kind of shaking their heads. They showed up to a session with us a couple weeks ago that was played on the radio in tribute to Draylen's birthday on Wednesday here at KMFA. And they didn't know that they were going to speak. They didn't know that I was going to jam a microphone in their face and demand that they say just whatever comes to your mind. What does it mean to be a Draylen Mason Fellow? Each of them did it in a single take. And for those of you who work with teenagers and understand what that means, it's incredible. It just pours out of their soul and in all the work that they do. We've spent the whole year working on sessions that address issues in their community. They put together presentations about the most important things in their lives, including climate change and racism, immigration. And for tonight's theme, what they voted on, what they chose, is to paraphrase a little bit, why does classical music not look like us? And so a wide variety of the music that we chose for this evening, as well as the theme for all of their solos, which you'll see in the middle of the show, tries to address that. It gives me chills just to talk about this because it's incredible to see their work. I wish I could take credit. Maybe Mr. Slevin could take more credit than I can for this, but they put in the blood, sweat, and tears to make this happen, and they surprise us every single time. I always say that we raise the bar super high because that's where Draylen wanted it, and they just keep going just a little higher, keep pushing that a little bit higher, and they meet that and surpass that every single time we work with them. So without further ado, I hope you enjoyed tonight's show, and thank you again for being here.
And the last thing I'll say is that a lot of us are rusty on going out. I invite you to be like Draylen would be tonight, get to know your neighbors, be bold. Draylen would leave this room having business cards and having lunches scheduled for next week. So have fun, feel free to clap loudly, and embrace moving into the era of live performances again. Thank you all, and enjoy the show.
Hello, good evening. My name is Johanna Galdames. Johanna Galdames. Johanna Galdames. Today, I will be presenting to you my poem, This Does Not Have a Name, and I will also be presenting an art piece called Cayenne, which is in your program. But before I produce or present my poem, I'd like to warn you because there will be loud noises. And without further ado, here I go. Who are you? Who are me? Past, future, present, end. Left, right, up, down. A song that I've heard before. Within, cop, label. Latina, Hispanic. Central American, South American. Not who I seem to be. Enough about me. Economy, cost, musicality, right, wrong, morality. You and I are the same. Touch, same songs. We are different. Music is for all. An opportunity. Light, bright, shine at night. I choose equality, not sympathy. I'm a shark. I'm a snake. I like the color purple. I won't hold back. Be who you want me to be. Blank. Effortless. Put rhythm into it, eh? Earn your musicality. I choose music, not to be a filthy wannabe. I'm learning music, where I want to be when there is equality. Kayan. Kayan is the name of the art piece I have created to complement this poem. The theme revolves around musical inequality, which has 5 different subtopics that all eventually tie to the theme. They are the following: gender, economic status, social, cultural, and racial. All of those share something, which is prejudice and unfair treatment in the music industry. However, in the piece, it is demonstrated through symbolism, both in the art piece and in the poem. I'd like the audience to take their time and really look into the hands representing our society, and the rest is up to you to find for yourself. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, nice to meet you. I have a question for you. Have you heard of this piece? What about this music? Do you know the composer of this piece? Then do you recognize this piece? The answers I am expecting are: first, yes, I have heard this piece before; second, Vivaldi; and third, no, I do not recognize this piece. My name is Dana Kim, and I am a Korean immigrant violinist who is trying to bring more Asian recognition in the classical world. I am sure many of you were familiar with the first 2 pieces I played. The first piece was Yankee Doodle, an American folk song and a nursery rhyme. And the second piece was the first movement of Spring from the Four Seasons by Antonio Vivaldi. Both pieces are from the Western world. Yankee Doodle is a traditional American song, and Vivaldi, the composer of the Four Seasons, was born in Italy. However, the last piece I played was a Korean folk song called Birang Arirang. As seen through these few examples, Asian music does not play much role in the classical world. And as a young musician, I always thought the remix of hip-hop and Korean folk songs, often sent to the culture fairs, to be lame or ambiguous of its origins. However, I recently noticed that the fusion of music can be an identity of it. Music performed by the black violins represent both the grooves of hip-hop and the elegance of the classical music. And several performances by the Asian singers, like Kelly Law, who puts together the country's folk song with classical instruments, shows their passion for both worlds of the music. This realization also fits my identity as well. As a Korean immigrant who moved to Texas in 4th grade, I often didn't know what culture I should stick to because it was all American at school and Korean in the other places. Even though I hated that I don't fit in any country I should belong to, I soon noticed that the mix of two cultures, both from east and west side of the world, can be an identity of me. Tonight, I will perform Arirang Rhapsody, arranged by Lee Jisoo, which represents that the Western classical music and Eastern folk song can create a great synergy. Thank you so much, and please enjoy.
My name is Diego Perez, and I often ask myself, why? Why is it that we still have to wait for equality after so much time? Why is it that there's so much time we're still confined? Confined by a transparent ceiling that keeps us from reaching for the stars. Confined by a mental doubt set by society. Scared to grow, scared to pursue our dreams. Unreachable, unattainable. Why can't we look towards music as an example? It brings people together of all ethnicities, genders, backgrounds, even they speak different languages. Everyone understands music. It calls to us, letting us understand its message despite our differences. It doesn't have to be clear. Even the slow rhythm of a waltz or the marching band at a game can help bring people together, united as one. So why? Why is it that we have so many examples around us that we can't change? It's just a matter of listening and being attentive. That glass ceiling that we reach for is merely an illusion. An illusion that the bird doesn't understand, yet yearns to break free. But what is true freedom if we aren't all free? This next song that I'm going to perform is called Serenade for Guitar by Lawrence Long. Hope you enjoy. This next song that we're gonna play is called Flores Negras by Julio Jaramillo. It's arranged by JJ Boyatas, and hope you enjoy.
that obviously I performed and composed for this event. And it's written in the flamenco style. If you know anything about flamenco, some words that may come up are Mexico, Latin America, Spain, Hispanic, Latino. If you can't tell, I am not any of those things. And that kind of begs the question, is it okay for me to do this? Should I have come up here tonight and played a piece that wasn't a part of my cultural identity to an audience? And I think the answer to that question, you should look at the history of flamenco. It started in Spain, as you would expect, and slowly it went from a dance style to theater, and then from theater to musical instrumentation, like as I showed today. Now, not only did it move from different ways of portraying that style, it also moved globally. So much so that there are more flamenco studios in Japan than there are in Spain. And it moved to the US a lot too. You see so much flamenco and music from other cultures in America. It's just a part of what this country is meant to be. But I think what's also important to understand is that with flamenco, with all these other styles, they have people associated with them. I come here tonight playing flamenco, but I also recognize and acknowledge the people who originated the style, the people who developed it, and the people who brought it to this country. It is important, imperative that I, when performing this music, acknowledge them. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, indeed. And so, when I think about ethnic representation, in Western music, Western culture. It's not just bringing people who look different. That is extremely important. But it's also important to let the culture and the spirit of those people come to light. That's what I hope to do today with my piece. Hope to promote not just ethnic diversity in terms of people, but also to promote the ideas such as flamenco that these people express. Thank you.
This is the prelude to Bach's first cello suite. I'm sure you're familiar with it. I'm also sure that you're familiar with Yo-Yo Ma, who has used this piece to highlight the universal language of music and to remind ourselves that at the end of the day, no matter your political view, your race, or anything else, we're all people and we're all worth something. Now, I'm sure this isn't the first time you've heard this piece, and I'm sure this won't be the last. This piece has told a lot of stories, and now it's time to tell mine. For most of my life, I've had an extremely complicated relationship with my ethnicity. I'm biracial. Looking at me, I think it's pretty obvious that I'm not white, but I never felt black either. I know that my hair is curly, and I have a white nose. But back then, I also knew that I had straight A's, and I didn't listen to rap music, and that I talked white. In my middle school's orchestra, I was one of maybe 15 black kids in the over 100-person orchestra program, where I used to straighten my hair for every performance because God forbid my hair be messy. Sophomore year was when I started declining. I was in a string quartet, a cello quartet, taking lessons, and performing in the pit for my school's yearly musical, on top of being in my school's varsity orchestra. I was doing a lot, and I was doing it for the wrong reasons. I was taking all the performance opportunities I could because I had absolutely no idea how hard I had to work in order to be successful, because I'd never seen anyone who looked like me be successful before. During that year, everything started piling up. I was scared because I was different. I was scared because I didn't know if I was good enough, and I was scared that I wouldn't be able to achieve my dreams because of something that was decided before I was even born. Thankfully, I'm in a lot better place than I was a year or so ago. But the trip to get here was hard. Coming to terms with my cultural identity was hard. Finding proof that someone like me could even be successful in the music industry was hard. Realizing that I'm good enough as I am was hard, and none of this has anything to do with my skill on the instrument. Being a non-white person in classical music is hard. I'm hoping that through our performances you realize that. This is what programs like Lost in Sound Waves are trying to combat, but without support and recognition, the root of this issue isn't going to get any better.
all of the fellows this year, the 20, what year is it? 2020, 2021 cohort of fellows. Please stand up if you are a fellow this year. New this year, we also introduced a mentorship program because naturally, who better to help the fellows than past fellows? And our alumni, despite our best efforts, love us anyways, and are part of the program forever. And so I want to acknowledge our alumni mentors. Can you please stand? Wonderful mentors were past participants, past fellows. I guess there's no such thing as a past fellow. You're a fellow forever. But they were in the first and second class of fellows, and this year they helped all of our fellows this year to craft their solos. Those all originally conceived and worked on with them, and it's just incredible work. I mean, I wish you could see them on a regular basis to see the kind of work they do. They're absolutely brilliant. They're absolutely brilliant. One more hand for the mentors.
I'd just like to send lots of love and gratitude to Draylen's family for entrusting us to deliver this program. It's not something we take lightly, and so thank you to Draylen's family for your love and support. It's such an honor and a burden that we really accept and take seriously. So thank you to Draylen's family for their support. Everyone here is part of this family and community and part of what made tonight happen. I want to also thank our Draylen Mason Fellows Community Advisory Board that provides ongoing support, all of our faculty and mentors, so many others, supporters, donors like Lynn, Gray, Evie, and Dr. Oliver that allow these students, or allow us to help empower and allow these students to pursue their dreams. All of our board, and of course KMFA, and I should say all of our wonderful staff and teaching artists. I want to invite Ann Wilson up to say a few words also. Ann has been hard at work for a long time, her and her team bringing this space to life, and we're so grateful for Ann and KMFA.
This is the most people we have had in this room since the building was completed, and I couldn't be a more perfect gathering than the third year, the inaugural year of the Draylen Mason Fellowship Capstone here in the Draylen Mason Music Studio. And I worry all the time, we all do at KMFA, we talk a lot about how to maintain the relevance of classical music and what do we do as a radio station to enliven classical music for future generations, and you have answered the question. Well, you've posed the question, and in posing it, you've answered it and helped us to continue to think about it, and I foresee great things for all of you, and I hope for KMFA in this beautiful space. I think some of the early meetings for hatching the fellowship were at North Lamar, weren't they?
Yes, ma'am, we know it well.
The old KMFA, and now here we are. We have a little gift for this year's fellows, and Carl is going to bring them up, but this is a special gift we give to special friends of KMFA. If the power ever goes out, like a major storm or something, yes, this is a battery-operated radio, chargeable, rechargeable. You know what the radios are, right? It's exclusively tuned to 89.5. Always have KMFA with you, wherever you go. Unless you go to another city and then whatever they have. And guess what? This is a mason jar. So we have these engraved for each of you. And it's just our way of saying congratulations for being such a wonderful class. And I hope you will enjoy this and keep it with you when you lose your iPhone. You can turn KMFA on your radio. Carla, do you have it all identified over there?
I've got it.
Great.
And I hope everyone will join us. I don't know if it's still raining or if Trey stopped it or not. But either way, I hope you'll join us in the lobby. Lynn and Gray have sponsored a champagne and sparkling water toast, complete with tip treats. We want to celebrate the inaugural performance in this space, celebrate Draylen's 21st birthday, all the fellows, and all of you for coming out tonight. So please join us in the lobby for a little toast and a treat, and some much needed mingling and socializing. Thanks for coming.